Set in a toxic company in Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, where survival is more important than teamwork, employees treat the office like a battleground, using lies, gossip, and intimidation to climb the corporate ladder. Here, backstabbing is a skill, and manipulation is an art. In Lagos, Nigeria, where thousands of graduates are jobless and the economy is struggling, companies have seized the opportunity to exploit desperate job seekers. With few job opportunities and high unemployment, many employers mistreat their workers, pay them peanuts, and expect them to endure toxic environments just to survive. Once employed, these graduates face daily disrespect, verbal abuse, and unrealistic workloads. They are spoken to like secondary school students, given impossible deadlines, and expected to work under harsh conditions simply because their bosses know the job market is saturated. Management operates with the mindset that if you leave, 10 more people are waiting to take your place, no matter how low the salary is. This creates a cycle of exploitation, where workers' rights are trampled, their dignity is stripped, and fear keeps them from speaking out. In this world, employees don't just work, they fight to survive. In Madam Bisi's world, power isn't just about position, it's about worship. She thrives on being treated like a small god, where employees must agree with everything she says, praise her endlessly, and act as if she's always right. The moment she realizes she cannot control someone, that she cannot step on you or break you, she switches tactics. She doesn't fire you immediately, she makes your life unbearable. She starts to frustrate you in ways that make you question your sanity. Your work. Never good enough, always rejected. Your emails. Ignored or mysteriously deleted. Your ideas? Never welcome. Meetings. You're either not invited or humiliated in front of others. Her followers, a group of desperate praise singers, operate the same way. They believe worship equals survival. They expect junior staff to bow to them, flatter them, and treat them like mini-gods. Babatunde and Adekunle weren't just employees, they were the eyes and ears of Madam Bisi. They had an uncanny ability to extract information from their colleagues, always lacking in conversations, always listening, always recording. If you had a discussion with them, it wasn't just a chat, it was an opportunity for them to gather material for their next report to Madam Bisi. It didn't matter whether the conversation was about work or personal life. If they heard something juicy, they rushed straight to Madam Bisi, who trusted them implicitly. In return, they gained her favor and were always in her good graces. Their favorite pastime was finding ways to get ahead by undermining others. They became corporate snakes, crawling through the office, whispering lies, exaggerating truths, and intentionally twisting words to further their own agenda. Madam Bisi, obsessed with power and control, took everything they said as gospel. And so, the cycle of manipulation began. No matter how well he performed, it was never enough. You missed a spot here, Chucks, Madam Bisi would say in front of everyone, her voice dripping with contempt. Redo it. It's not good enough. Go home when you finish it, make sure it's perfect. I expect more from you. And so it went, each day became a battle. Chucks was frustrated, exhausted, and demoralized, but he held on, hoping that if he just worked harder, things would improve. But it didn't. Madam Bisi would always find something, no matter how small, to criticize. And the cycle continued, day after day, but Chucks wasn't the only one targeted. Next in line was Nenwa, another dedicated worker with a bright future. When Babatunde and Adekunle realized that Madam Bisi's attention was now on Nenwa, they moved quickly. They whispered rumors, sowing discord and doubt in Madam Bisi's mind. Soon, Nenwa found herself in the same exhausting cycle. Work wasn't good enough. She was told to repeat everything, no matter how much effort she put into it. She was told to repeat everything, no matter how much effort she put into it. She would leave late, often staying well past office hours, only to be told that her work wasn't what she expected. Madam Bisi had no regard for the hard work or the toll this took on her employees. She thrived on control, and when she saw that Nenwa was not bending to her will, she turned the screws tighter. She wanted Nenwa to break, to bend, to fall in line with her reign of power. Meanwhile, Babatunde and Adekunle were thriving in their new positions, silently enjoying the chaos they had caused. Their whispers and lies were only making their positions more secure as Madam Bisi showered them with praise, not knowing the destruction they were causing. As the days passed, tension in the office grew thicker. Chuks and Nemwa were both on the verge of breaking. They had given their all to the company, only to be crushed by an invisible hand. But neither of them knew that the real game was only just beginning. One afternoon, after weeks of relentless pressure, Nemwa received an email that left her frozen. It was an official email, stating that her contract would not be renewed. She was given no reason, just a cold, impersonal message. The email was signed by none other than Madam Bisi herself. Nemwa stared at the screen, her heart racing. How could this happen? She had done everything right. Chuks, too, received a similar message, but his was a bit different. Madam Bisi had given him an ultimatum: resign voluntarily, or face more setbacks. As Nemwa and Chuks walked out of the office, defeated and crushed, they couldn't help but wonder, who would be the next target? Would they be the last? And how far would Madam Bisi go to keep her power? But there was something even more sinister at play. Something that no one had seen coming, a final twist. A mystery that no one knew was lurking in the shadows. What happens next? How will Babatunde and Adekunle be caught in their own web of lies? Will Madam Bisi continue her reign of manipulation? And who will rise up to expose the truth? What do you think will happen next? Will anyone be able to stop the corruption? Will Chuks and Numa fight back, or will they be forced to bow down to the system? Subscribe to our channel and share this story. Stay tuned for the next chapter.